This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Time to get awesome, get geeky. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready to get geeky with you tonight. We have our crew on hand, and we'll get to that in just a second here. First of all, he's from the Big D of Dormont, PA, in Studio C. He's the gadget guru of Big Bank International Esquire. He is the Chilla, John Chilla.
How's it going?
Hello, sir.
Hello. And you know, today in T news, like the entire T was down, so that was a fun.
The entire, not just the section where the bridge, where the entirety of the T was down. Jeez.
That's my unless I misunderstood. I got to drive to work because there was power outages on the other line that is actually functioning right now. So this is for a fun commute.
This has been your update on the weekly crumbling of the Pittsburgh travel commuter infrastructure system here.
Yes.
So we got bridges falling down. We got pets' heads falling off. It's crazy.
Yes. It is just the ever crumbling infrastructure.
Yes. And for somebody who does not get to commute to downtown, and I think is partly still working from home, Dave Podnar is with us of the iPhoneography podcast.
Hey, Sorg.
Hello.
Yeah, so, yes, and since we had a traffic update, and it's traffic and weather on the 8th,
yes.
We went from 84 degrees yesterday to where I can wear long sleeves and not roast because it got cold all of a sudden.
Yes, it did. Man, that was like, it was the don't open all the windows, turn on all the fans last night too. Oh, just leave them off. Don't worry. You're going to want to keep the heat that we've retained. It's okay. So it's doing that dance. But this was the day where I looked up and saw that things started looking green and flowery here in the Pittsburgh area. So that is exciting. So spring is here, baby. Well, we got a lot going on here. We are, of course, live on all of the things on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the Twitch, on the Twitter, and 2 places on Twitter because I am experimenting. I got a little iRig 2 over here. I don't want to pick it up because it's all connected, but I have the boxes over there. There's some new things in here in the studio this week. We are attempting to broadcast to Twitter Spaces. And ideally, in my mind, with the idea to also allow you to participate and get your voice on these shows through Twitter Spaces is the eventual thing I'm trying to figure out. I may need a little bit more than what this hardware thing is going right now, but we're working on it. I think it might be a little buzzy right now. We're kind of sorting it out. So if I don't know if anybody's going to pop in. I honestly don't know, but it's Spaces. So let's see how it goes. Maybe if I invite a bunch of people. That would be the way to do it, right? But anyways, so this is the AwesomeCast. Check out everything on AwesomeCast.com. And you get AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.com, AwesomeCast on the Twitter, AwesomeCast on the Facebook. We have a great Facebook group as well as a Discord you can get over at AwesomeCast.com. And we are over on Reddit as well if you like to share some stories over there. I'm trying to get that community going. I know. We're looking for your Redditors out over there. And also you can subscribe to us, listen to us on your favorite podcast app. Please rate and review us. And, of course, we are live every Tuesday on all those places I just said, including the Sorgatron Media, Twitch, and AwesomeCast, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and my own Twitter apparently today too. So we got all the chat rooms. I got 3 phones over here with chat rooms open, and then we got a lot of screens. This is usually how we run. Also, thank you to our audio partners over at postindustrial.com helping share the awesomeness. And thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford. At the coffee club level, Matt Weller, John John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podnar. You guys can check it out and check out the behind the scenes stuff and support the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. I'm going to drink some more coffee and I'm going to toss it to Chilla for his awesome thing of the week.
So my awesome thing of the week isn't as technical as normal.
Okay.
But it is a desk, an end table, and a set of shelves all in one.
I feel like you're doing a commercial. It's a desk.
It
chops your tomatoes.
I don't know. So I needed a kind of desk for my couch.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of set up an alternate workspace.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at a couple of the ones that kind of had the like it was just a table that kind of could slide in from the side. This actually is, I don't even know how to explain it. It's magic. It's like a set of shelves, and then it kind of can fold out and become
on one
like
side,
an L-shaped desk.
On one side, it's a set of 3 shelves, but then there's like a section that can is like the one panel over with some wheels on it, and apparently it rotates on that pivot point, right, to turn into an L-shaped desk. So what does this go at the end of your couch, and then you can kind of just pull the one end over?
I actually have it kind of set up like the end table.
Mm-hmm. Like here,
and then I actually wheel it around, and I actually don't use it in the L-shaped formation. I use it in the straight. So if you go back to the one that shows you kind of all of the different looks and feels. Nope. Yep. The bottom picture there where you can rotate it all the way out.
So no angle. You have a straight line, the eye shape, if you will. The extended eye shape. Instead, the big eye instead of the little eye.
It's like the 180-degree rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like it so far. You will probably get to see it in use on the show. Like I said, I was trying to actually create a secondary workspace.
And this is the ideal house. 360 rotatable sofa, side table, mobile, Yendi table with 2 tiers, storage shelves, movable laptop table with 30 middle frames. In the wordiness, SEO-ness of item names.
It does only come in one color, rustic brown.
Mm-hmm.
But it works with the color scheme I have in the basement.
That works.
So I'm pretty happy with it so far. And it seems very well built for the mere price of $130. And right now there's a $7 coupon on Amazon.
There you go. Not bad.
No, that is very nice. I know Ruth's always looking for her jewelry setup, some way that she can have things close by. I think we've reconfigured space around in the last year around 7 or 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're going to try this. No, we got to try this. No, that didn't work. What's one of those things like you see someone do something or you're like, okay, let's try this. And you actually try it. And you're like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, so we're going to try this instead. And I always love the idea with a convertible furniture like this, where you can say, I don't need this all out now, so I can convert it down and it's still nice. But if I need more space, I can just slide it out, move it around.
And it probably took me maybe 20 minutes to put together. It wasn't very complex. It does come all in pieces, but you pretty much screw on the 6 wheels into the legs, screw the legs in, 18 screws later, you have a working desk.
Nice. So it's $129, plus a discount, and I see there's some other more deals on there as well. So you can go check that out over there. Podnar, what's your awesome thing?
Yep, and my thing is an update that just came out a couple weeks ago for iMovie for the iPhone and iPad, but not for the Mac. So the new features are only on for iPhone and iPad. So in my mind, they're trying to bring iMovie to a market that's not used to putting together movies or slideshows by a lot more hand holding.
Mm-hmm.
So the two new features, the first one is Magic Movie, where you just simply select the pictures or videos and it's kind of like in the Photos app where you have the memories, you can make a movie out of that. It's a very similar thing where you select the pictures and the movies, and you just hit the Magic Movie, and it'll and you say, okay, and it even says, well, here's the theme that you can use, and here's the music and everything that goes with it, and it just spits out a movie.
Is this what we're seeing in the in the preview here on the app page? I'm re-downloading it to my iPad right now, actually.
Yeah, partially. Well, I would say that's one feature is the basic one. That's the storyboards are the second new feature.
Mm-hmm.
Now the storyboards are really nice in my mind because you can see like there's the look that you can pick there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look down below, there's additional font options, colors, filters, and music. But with the storyboards, it will actually walk you through, like here, it'll actually walk you through and say, oh, this is, let's say, for do-it-yourself. Actually, let me open it up here and I can kind of talk through it here real quick. Okay, yep, we'll go back here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Thank you.
We do have it here. It just finished loading on this iPad, so I can kind of walk through this a little bit. So you're talking about we can do Magic Movie, and we'll click that here in the lower left, and kind of talk me through this process.
Sure. For Magic Movie, once you click on that, let's see here.
Okay,
there we go. So you just select whatever media you want to include with it.
Let's go under a recent. Let's hope there's nothing embarrassing in here. Let's go with something.
And it can be pictures or movies. So you can do the little 10-second video, or you can do
All right, we're gonna throw a couple of random kind of things in here. We're gonna get a little bit of that. We're gonna get a little bit. Let's throw some video in here. Let's throw the dog and that and this cactus. Okay. All right, I threw 10 items in here. So we're going to load in here, creating the movie.
Yep. So it's doing its movie on its own. So this would be great if you just wanted to, if you went somewhere on a trip, you just wanted to throw together a quick little movie to show people instead of posting 30 or 40 photos.
Well, one thing I've been doing, as a side while we're waiting this thing to process, so I have on the front page of my iPad, and I can kind of pop over here and show you this. Like up in the upper corner I use the widget. And you can see like up in the corner, like here, it wants to do a story of like, hey, here's Missy in 2017. Like it just threw everything together for my trip to South Bend for the Royal Wrestling Show. So I just threw it had most everything. I deleted like a couple of pictures that were repeats. It had some music behind it, and I shared a Twitter video that was like, hey, here's some behind the scenes shots, in a slideshow. It's kind of nice, if you see me randomly putting out those little slideshows and stuff, like that's because. It's just like, hey, Apple said, here's a thing. And I'm like, yeah, hey, remind me of that. Let's put that out there. And then people like to see it. So
it's very, I would say it's basic and they haven't said this. It almost sounds like the iMovie people saw the photos and said, hey, we like that in our product.
Cross it over a little bit, right?
Exactly. So all you did was select it. You hit Magic Movie. You can hit play and it'll play the movie for you. And if you want to, you could select the different style you want it with the different titles. Like I said, you have the filters down below, different colors if you wanted. And it just, little, here we go. And it's like play, you get
got my Magic Movie. It's showing a little bit here and there. I think it's having some problems with the video part that I had in there from my phone, but also it's like a new iPhone 13 video is thrown on top of an original iPad Pro. So it's got some music to it.
So it's got, and like I said, if you just wanted to throw something together quick and easy, and or let's say you're just starting to make little movies, this is even easier than straight iMovie.
It's really
where iMovie's pretty easy, so it makes it quick and easy. And like I said, it just maybe with the different video you have there, unfortunately.
I'm gonna
but it does also have a little bit of Ken Burns effect with the slow zoom in, zoom out. But to me, the bigger thing is if you look at the next part, the storyboards, because that's the next kind of beyond the basic, we're just going to throw something together.
Okay.
So once you do storyboard, you select what kind of story you want to make a video of. And it kind of gives you some decent categories.
And it's got a book report, product pitch, thank you, celebration, gaming, cooking, day in a life. Let's do a day in a life one. And I mean, and then we can go with this. Let's go with the charm style, and we can create. And you're probably going to have
now when you create. Well, no, it's even better because notice it tells you medium shot. Here's a little thing. Then you can bring a little teaser. So you select your video, but it also can tell you, well, here's the kind of video, here's the kind of picture or video you want to do. You can add it from here. Here's some things you may want to consider about which one. So it's actually stepping you through what would make a good presentation.
So, there's a version of this with trailers, right? Where it's like get a medium shot, and it's showing you like what the body would look like in a medium shot, right? Like we're talking about the body that's like from half your torso up and everything, and then you can go through your photos and say, where can I find a shot that looks kind of like that from my stuff? Or here's one that's like over this way and looking out a window. Here's one of somebody kind of falling and running. And then it'll just again it kind of storyboards. You need a shot like this. You need a shot that looks like this. You need a shot that looks like this, and it kind of rolls from there, right?
Right. And if you do something like the science report one, you could set it up beforehand, and looking at the text of how it suggests the different shots, you can say, okay, well, my first shot should be like this, so I'm going to take this shot. My second shot should like this. So you can almost use it as an outline when you're taking the pictures beforehand.
Yeah, you can sit there, you can just sit there and like go through that. Like there's the cooking one, right? I can go through that process. I need a shot like this. I need a shot like this. I need a shot like this, and you can put them in as you're making them, almost too. Yeah. Which is kind of a cool design. So so in effect, it's really kind of teaching moving making a little bit. Exactly.
So that's where I think the biggest help is that it's bringing it down a bit where it's helping people learn the process. Because you take someone who's like, oh, I take some photos, I can put some stuff together, but now it's like, oh, by the way, here's what a storyboard looks like. Here are some sample storyboards. And you're like, well, I want to add this or I don't want to do this. You can change the storyboard, but it gives you an outline to start with. So I can see this as great for, kids using this all the time. Oh, I want to put something together for, and show a video of what I did. Well, here's a storyboard and here's some ideas that can get you started where you're not starting on a blank canvas. If you remember the Apple ad from the Christmas ad from 3 or 4 years ago, where the kid was looked like he was just playing on his phone all the time. And at the very end, it was like, no, I was making a video of all the shots that was happening as a reminder of that. So it's like, well, yeah, but if you don't know what you want to do in the first place, like I said, I think most people the hardest thing to do is start with the blank canvas.
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of the thing. Like I know for me, as a consistent video producer, I feel like one of the skill sets you pick up is you walk in a room and you start picking up, okay, this over here, boom, 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 these people are important. Here's some people gathering over here. Okay, we need people talking to the sponsors over here, boom, 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 boom. Like you're doing all that math in your head. Like you're basically in your head doing what this app is doing for you, right? Exactly. When I'm walking, we've talked about the events I do with your company, and when I'm walking over an Aero Designer or Baja, it's like, okay, those kids over there look really interesting. Let's get an interview with them by the end of the weekend. Let's do this. What's the story here? What's happening here? Okay, what's the big thing everybody is having a problem with? What team's doing X and Y? Where are they on the leaderboards? That kind of process kind of thing, mapping that out when you're covering an event dynamically like that, right? For getting the nice video at the end of the weekend, basically. Yeah. So that's exactly what's going on there. So awesome.
And of course, with like the rest of the eye stuff, Used to be called iLife back in the day for us old people.
It came on a disc, guys, in a little box that was on a shelf, just like Mac
you
OS
could buy it separately at one time. But it is, of course, no cost. And I don't think it's pre-installed, so you still have to install it. But iPhone or iPad, and I don't know how far back it goes in terms of how old this will work on. But yeah, assuming if you could run the newest version of iOS, which I think for the last, if you have at least a 5 or 6 year old phone or newer,
I can tell you,
I
believe I have the most recent on my 6S that we still have floating around here. And this is this is an original iPad Pro, which would be like a 2015, I believe. And it loaded up. You saw, I mean, I don't think it really took long to load those up. So it was still relatively snappy. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and like I said, just a matter of going to the App Store and downloading it and giving it a try.
So I guess we have a little bit of a productivity theme this week, don't we? So mine is, and I got this loaded in here. I don't want to show you my client list or anything. That seems like something I probably shouldn't be showing off. But so I've been using Trello for years. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This is I think it was originally introduced actually on the SAE projects. I think we originally tried using it for the initial organization for what we were doing with them. And in PodCamp, I think we're using it to organize and things like that. And it's just like I've gone back and forth with using it, trying to keep myself straight on projects and everything, because it's always, especially this time of year, there's so much going on, and just in general, there's just been so much going on. And it's always been like wrapping my head around what do I need to do to make this thing, work the best for everybody, right? Or at least myself. Sometimes I can't get a lot of other people on board, but it's the stupidest thing. But I discovered that you can add covers to your cards on Trello. I'm going to show you. So this is the Trello board that I use for the pro wrestling shows now. And Missy actually helped organize it. But you can, if it's around organization, usually my wife has had a hand in it. Let's be clear about that. You should see the spreadsheets she has put together between scheduling, between project payroll, and this entire sheet we have that specs out, we need this, and we need this, and this, and this videographer, and a photographer, and bum, 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 and it just spits out a number. My estimates are so easy because she meticulously went over our entire inventory and everything we do, and it's just like, oh my God, this is magic. But she's a freaking office whiz. Well, it's in Google Sheets, but whatever. But this is the one that I use for the pro wrestling stuff, and we have them, of course, kind of split up by company and everything like that. But the biggest thing, this is the detachment that I had because I'm a very visual person, is putting graphics in your cards. We have literally the show posters going on here. If we were in, and this is just, it's nothing proprietary. This just shows that we've obviously been filming over the last several months and everything, and just see where we're at, and then we go in and we do checklists and say, okay, have we done the video? Okay, did we post it on this site? Did we post it on VOD? Did we post it here? Did we do the social media? Did we do the trailer? Did we do the GIFs? And that's something that gets shared between myself and Missy, and Rob is somebody who's been helping us with the video post-production a little bit, the clips and everything for us, and the trailers and things like that, so we can say, okay, where are we? Where are all the people? But the biggest thing for me has been putting the covers in there. So for my client work, like there is, I go to all the SAE events. I literally went through yesterday and put the logo for each of the events in a card, and finally set up cards for, did I book my hotel, my flight if I'm going, my car to get there, this, putting the receipts in there so I know what the hell I booked instead of looking back in the email. So it centralizes that, and the card system, again, it's a very visual, it's a very compartmental thing, and then you can put your deadlines and everything on there to kind of see where you're at. Like, I'm woefully behind on a proposal that I owe somebody, things like that, and it helps you better assess where you're at least me, and the way the projects come into me, and then I can throw them into, okay, this is done. It's in review or waiting on an element. I throw it in another card stack. Okay, these ones there's a proposal that went out, and that's going over here, and we're waiting on hearing on something, and this is everything that's completed, and we hold on to them in this little bay in case they come back for something we didn't expect. Maybe it wasn't finished. Maybe they want a last minute change after the fact. Who knows? So that's been a big thing with me. It's Trello. It got purchased not too long ago from Atlassian, but it's been. And we're mostly using the free version. We've been dabbling with the premium version. I know one of our clients that we interface with, we have a pro version to interface with their people in a nonprofit that we work with. So and I don't think we talked about it much on here, but it's been kind of low on my radar in use for several years now. So that's Trello. Big organizational thing, especially if you're juggling multiple projects, multiple clients. I think it's worthwhile. And again, the premium features, add more things like I can add a due date to each item on a checklist, which could be powerful, like things like that. So, worthwhile, and it's something that's been really helpful for me.
You were saying about the due date on a checklist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Can you assign individuals to individual items on the checklist? So
I think that's a premium feature too.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where it's like so much money per seat kind of thing. It's kind of like Slack, or if you went to the premium in Slack. So so it's not bad. I think it's going to be like 100 something a year for us for like 3 people. So which really in the long run is not that bad. I can't tell you what that official number was. And of course I'm on the iPad version, so it's not going to show me on here. And it's got apps on everything, but I honestly use the web version in most things because I've not liked having extra apps open, even though I have a crazy fast Mac now, but I'm still kind of like, if it can be in a browser, let's just leave it in the browser kind of situation. Plus then, like, hey, I can pull it up on a Chromebook. I can pull it up on my iPad. It doesn't matter, right? Where you're at, you'll be able to pull it up and log in, and it's good to go. So that's Trello from Atlassian now. And like I said, highly recommended. So, all right. Hey, it was also highly recommended. Our good friends at Slice on Broadway, 4 locations in the Pittsburgh area, New York City style. Yins are made. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills. Please go check them out. They've been supporting the AwesomeCast for over a decade now. Good to see Rico and the crew down there every week. And thank you so much for when we have guests in, feeding them. I know we've had a few nights of full houses here with the Wrestling Mayhem show over the last couple months. It's been nice to get back to that. So go check out our friends over there at Slice on Broadway. They're on Grubhub and everything, even if you're not in the direct delivery status. I know, Podnar, you participate in that a little bit as well. So they can get out there. Check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. So what do we got on the back of the... Are we losing Chilla over there?
Oh, no. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You went text on me, man.
Happened.
You went all audio on me. Is he with us?
I'm with you.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Only in voice.
The disembodied voice.
There you go.
What's weird is the camera is selected, so I'm wondering if it's something with
might be a bandwidth issue somewhere.
No, I think it's this happened the other day.
There he is. I have an issue where this has happened to me when I've been streaming with my brother on the gaming night. You're back now. At those points, I'm streaming to Twitch on a Discord with my brother, and also potentially doing Xbox cloud gaming at the same time, and just something will come up where just all the internet stops for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it happened to me just last night during a Zoom call. So I don't know if this is a Mac Mini issue. I don't know if this is my networking issue, because I do have a long cord running in the back, and then about 2 routers it's going through until it gets to me. So I've been curious about that. I've also had browsers browsers freeze on me on this computer. And I was like, this thing, again, it's a Mac Mini M1. It should have plenty of power to do any of this stuff, So something's getting hung up there. I've been really, really unhappy with the situation lately.
Mine, I think it is honestly a USB hub issue.
Oh yeah, that's what
I have the webcam plugged into a USB hub that's plugged into a dock, and then that dock is plugged into my MacBook. And I noticed that yesterday my webcam was dropping quite often.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a power issue or something through the dock or something, right? So, but I mean, everything's Ethernet, so everything should be, fine. So I don't know. I think I might switch out some of my routers, see if that helps things. But I don't know. Well, it's an odd thing. I'm going to be gaming with my brother here next week again, and we'll see if that persists. I'm going to try some different stuff. Podnar, you got several items in here, so I'm gonna kind of toss to you for what you want to pull out of this.
Okay. Well, one is, let me do with the will it dissolve a peep. It is a high school chemistry teacher who overheard someone say, "Oh, nothing can dissolve a peep," and she heard it at a conference. I want to say in fall of last year. And of course, when we're getting close to Easter, she's like, well, let's try some things. So yeah, the last thing she tried was Nair. and literally nothing. So all of a sudden she went from so she tried various things to see if the peep would dissolve. Put it in here, and she said, well, why am I using this concentration of acid? Because this is what we had left over in our school. So it's like hydrogen peroxide, potassium, and she's doing this after school. And all of a sudden, if one of her early videos on this, almost a month old, because she also does tie-dye, showing tie-dye for teachers. That's a lot of the outdoors, but like different beverages she tried.
There's a
just
Mountain
to see
Dew.
If it would dissolve.
Yep.
Yeah, Mountain Dew, coffee. It was a coffee flavored pecan coffee. You can see the 7-Up it starts to do. Diet Coke and Coke. And basically I don't want to spoil too much, but the funny thing is she just put it out and apparently it just caught fire. Because all of a sudden she came on the next day and went, I didn't expect that to happen. Hello, all my new followers.
As you
and
do.
It's just one of those beautiful things. To me, it's just pure as in, hey, someone said this. I'm doing this just because it's interesting. Maybe this kids would find it interesting. I'm not trying to do this for attention. I'm just doing this out of curiosity, and all of a sudden it catches on. And then she has 1 million views on one of her TikToks. One thing she did find out that she's kind of curious is that one of the acids does completely dissolve the peep, except for the eyeballs. So you had left over this liquid with 2 little eyeballs floating in it, like a horror movie. And she said, you know what? I was looking at the ingredients and it says carnauba wax. So I'm guessing the eyeballs are wax.
And you're eating that. I mean, you can eat wax.
Yes.
I mean, that's not
you
terrible.
Wax, and it's only a little bit. But she even said, I thought that was chocolate. Because if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. It would, because it's brownish. It would make sense because it's candy, and you figured chocolate, but no, it's because it didn't dissolve. And so I think she's up to like 20 or 30 different things that she's testing out, and people are saying, hey, try this, try this, try this. One thing that was a major disappointment was the Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew did nothing.
But really, I mean, Coke is the worst thing. Like Coca-Cola is the worst thing. That's the thing that takes paint off cars, right? Yeah. So
it pretty much did not touch a peep. It didn't touch a peep.
Didn't touch a peep. No.
Didn't touch a peep.
Oh boy. Okay. So that is what was the account again?
Sure. You know what? I need to look it up myself here.
Because it's not a will it dissolve a peep. It is.
No.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring her up here. Dr. Gable Chemistry, actually.
Yeah.
So Go check that out over there on the TikToks. The TikToks are so educational.
They can be, yes.
Yes.
They can be very educational.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's take a look at, while we're on the TikTok line, here's my new TikTok obsession. There's a store. I looked it up. It's in Fairfield, Ohio, apparently outside of Cincinnati. And I think I got to drive to Cincinnati, potentially being booked for late July. They'll be going through Cincinnati at least, so I might have to stop by this. Or actually, I might be not near. I gotta go to St. Louis. We'll be driving through the area. So this is Jungle Jim's Market. And the first video I spotted, let me see if I can find it here, because there's actually so much going on. So this is apparently the most insane supermarket, and they actually don't have a lot of TikToks on here. There's only like kind of a maybe a page and a half of them here, right? And they're talking about, it's just the most insane looking supermarket, roadside attraction. There's a giant snake on the outside of the building. They have a monorail. That's the video I saw, because they're like, somebody was like, does your monorail work? Apparently this is, there's like an event center that the monorail like went to. I guess they kind of recommissioned it. It was like an old, like, I don't know, monorail train station kind of thing. This looks like there's like some kind of bar brewery situation here. And then they'll go through, ooh, WWE figures. What the hell? But they're going through, and they have a boat in their fresh seafood section. That they have everything for they say it's the best seafood, in Eastern Ohio. There's no, listen, if you have that much seafood and you don't see a sea nearby, you should question that a little bit, right? But really good marketing. I guess they have their own podcast for as well. This crazy guy with the Tim Tams, it's a lot of regional food. Right, like there's some Australia stuff there. They're showing off some other stuff there too. International snack hacks. It's the perfect areas riding on the monorail. So some more monorail content, because of course. So I don't know. It just seems like there's a place like this, not like this, but there's a place like this in Myrtle Beach that seems like you pass like 50 signs while you're driving up to it. And it says fireworks, ice cream, more fireworks, fudge, and all that kind of stuff, right? So no, this looks like an entire complex they have going on here. So it's Jungle Jim's Market on the TikTok, at Jungle Jim's Market, the Jungle Jim's podcast. And I actually don't think, did I end up on a website? I don't remember now. But worth checking out there, and maybe that's a nice roadside attraction to get to sometime. And in this Jungle Jim's International Market podcast, breaking the food chain, it says, is the subline on that. So go check that out if you are interested in whatever the heck is going on here. I think I'm going to follow them on YouTube actually. Chilla, you got something out there on the dock, right? Or do you want to talk about monorails?
We can talk about my thing on the dock. Or one of my questions was, have you? And I didn't know this until there's someone I work with that lives outside of Cleveland. Have you heard of Sweeties?
Sweeties sounds familiar, actually. What is that?
Like if you go to sweetiescandy.com, SWEETIES candy.com. I didn't realize Cleveland is home to the largest candy store in North America.
Really? I thought Daffin's was one of the...
That's... I question the same thing, but they have the claim, the BA Sweetie Candy Company. They have a soda shop. They have a mini golf course. They have the candy store. It looks like a pretty cool place to visit. So if you're, to your point, if you're passing through Ohio, probably worth a look-see. I know people that they make a trip just to go to this place. So
wait, I'm looking at this mini golf. This is for Dutters. She loves her mini golf. There's a big Golfland park, the big candy pieces in there and everything. So I've never seen a purple lined mini golf course though. That's kind of fun.
And it's 36 holes.
36 holes, a lot of flyovers here in this video. There you go. Check that out. Sweetie's Golfland. So yeah, so sweetiescandy.com if you wanted to go check that out too. I love these these odd attractions. You see the ones Katie was going to this past week. She went up by Du Bois, PA, and I'm going to see if I can pull up her story on that. Also, hey, while we're at it, Katie was on TV today. We should shout out. She was featured. She's going to be participating in the Pittsburgh Marathon, so please go to her Facebook page, her page for that, and you can see. You can see her. She's on WTAE. They were talking to her again about being. I don't want to show because I don't want to get a takedown from TAE. Being in the marathon, and of course she's raised money for cancer charity for Young Adult Survivors United. So that is over on her Facebook page, and you probably find it on our Twitter as well. There's some people with the video, but they do have it on TAE as well. We have that linked on our AwesomeCast Facebook and everything too. What was I looking for? I was looking for her
thing in Du Bois. You said?
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's on her Facebook, so I'm gonna have to go look for it. It was. I don't know. It was so random because there was like dinosaurs, like animatronic dinosaurs, but then there was like Toothless from How to Train a Dragon. Beside the dinosaurs,
but then wasn't there like a Bigfoot?
Yeah, and there's all this Bigfoot stuff apparently. Let's go back there. There we go. Nope, haven't found it yet. So, she had it in her story, I know, and that's why I can't find it because everything goes away. No, it's still not in there. Man, I could have sworn she did a story on that or a post on that. But anyways, we'll have to ask her next
and
time
on her Twitter.
Is that where she put
She
it?
does have, she has the dinosaur and Bigfoot from 2 days ago. It's at the Depot Doolittles.
Depot Doolittles. I'm looking for it now. Anyways, we were transitioning to something else, weren't we? No, that was the transition, wasn't it? I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. There's your dinosaur with eggs and a Bigfoot.
I'm wondering, is the dinosaur going to eat the Bigfoot?
It looks like he's about to, isn't it?
I think he's protecting his eggs.
But have you noticed the dinosaur has an ice cream cone with a straw in it? Or I'm sorry, the Bigfoot does.
Is that a straw or is that one of those like cookie things?
It could be a cookie thing, I suppose. You be the judge. Jeez. Well, that's the cover art. What the hell time is it? What are we doing here? Are we running late or did I spend too much time setting up the spaces?
9 minutes.
I got 9 minutes before Chilla time. What else we got here? What else is worth talking about, guys?
So did you see? And it's a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the article I put in there about the new Asus Pro Arc display?
No. Tell me more. Oh wow.
So it's a 32:9 display, and so when you think about it, it's like 14 inches on the diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 1920 by 500. It's a very long, wide, but not tall display that folds out. It has a dial that's compatible with anything that the Microsoft dial can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a touch screen, and it's compatible with the Microsoft stylus spec. But what's interesting to me is this was just announced, and there's no price yet from, is it Asus or Asus? However you pronounce AS.
I go
these
Asus.
days.
That's where I roll. Asus.
But while they just kind of announced this, I've seen this display format now a lot in the last month and a half.
Really?
Now, where I've primarily seen it is on TikTok with people that are doing either like crazy desk, like work from home desk setups,
mm-hmm.
or crazy gamer setups.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've also seen it where they actually embed this display in the case. Like if you're doing a case mod and do all kinds of like diagnostics and animations.
I can tell you right off the bat some stuff I could do with it in a production scenario, actually. Right off the bat, I can think of a couple of ideas. And just be like, oh, my tools and my buttons are over here for this. Like, yeah, no, I can see that. And I can see embedding, if it was able to, if there was the mouse for it, to embed it in a road case and just be like, boom, 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 here we go. And like,
well, you can plug it in. I'm pretty sure it's like going to be USB-C, plug into your computer, and it's automatically becomes a display and a touchscreen.
Because I'm already working on, I think I talked to you, Chilla, I'm already working on the idea of getting an Intel NUC as a kind of graphics computer in my personal road setup. So I'm trying to get something of a middle of the road production setup. The big stuff, of course, we're going to use the ETUA setup that we've been using, but I want something that is a little more all in one. You know, here's the case. We bring the case. It's not a large case. It's like a moderate size case. We roll this thing in and we produce. You know what I mean? And this is an idea. So
I just think it's interesting. And what's weird to me is this popped up in my news feed today. And maybe it popped up in my news feed because the amount of times I've seen it on TikTok, and I actually have one like bookmarked in Amazon. Now that this one's coming up, now I feel like the major manufacturers are making them. Before, they were just random Chinese companies that upsold it as like, this works with your Mac, it works with Windows, it works with a Raspberry Pi. Like I saw someone use one of these and they made like they attached a Raspberry Pi to it and made it like their alarm clock, but it also controls half their house and it does like 52 other things.
Yeah, I can see that.
But the display size is really interesting. So I don't know.
This is that thing that you throw all your effects panels from like Photoshop in the corner, right? Like on your laptop or something. I mean, it's if you're creative and have a lot of things that kind of get floaty and weird. I mean, I run with no less than 2 monitors at my work desk at all times. I'm looking to potentially add a third. You know, this could be the third if it's Mac compatible enough.
Check out. I'll get you the make and model. Remind me. There's a ViewSonic 14-inch USB-C touchscreen that actually has a kickstand. I've been pretty happy with it, and there's Mac OS drivers for the touchscreen.
For a touchscreen?
Yeah.
And interested because the Mac, the iPad sidecar and universal control, it's nice, but it's not reliable enough for like a daily driver for me yet. I just keep running into headaches with it. It just, it's not the just works. I mean, it's very close, but it's still not the consistent just works that I need. But I also should probably replace that monitor that you gave me. That's probably about 12 years old. Because every once in a while, when you turn everything off, it doesn't come back on for a couple of days.
Which the Mac one?
The Apple display, yeah.
So here's what you have to do. That power cord in the back is actually removable.
Okay.
The combination power cord.
Okay.
If you pull that out for 2 minutes, it will reset some kind of NAND memory that's in there.
That's what it seemed to be. I have to unplug it for a little bit, but it's like I unplug it overnight and then it comes back the next day.
Yeah, it only takes like 60 seconds.
He didn't tell me about the bug in this thing, and this has been a headache for me ever since you gave that to me.
Well, I'm sorry, because it happened to me once.
Which I shouldn't be complaining. You gave me a free monitor that's fucking beautiful. So it's the best thing that I have. It literally is. So which is fantastic for editing videos and everything like that. So, and I'm not about to drop $1,500 on a new display that crashes. From Apple.
The ViewSonic, I put the next line down.
Okay.
I would do not think of it like this is not going to be like a sketch. It comes with a stylus. This is not meant. I would not try to tell someone, oh, go buy this, and it's going to be your new
Yeah, even the one that you
Wacom tablet or
right,
anything like that.
Even the article you initially showed, it says in there, this will not replace your Wacom tablet or anything like that. So this is what you're talking about. This is a $300 tablet, 15.9-inch 1080 portable monitor with IPS screen. I'm going to add that to the cart and look at that later.
And it can be powered. The cool thing that I thought was it can be powered over USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
And then it uses that same USB-C for the touchscreen.
Okay. You got my interest there. If nothing else, it's something that I could throw in my bag to have a multi-monitor set up for like on the road with my laptop, right? So I mean that's the biggest thing. And actually, this is something my wife would want to consider because she's got her Power Mac. By the way, Missy's running 3 screens. Regular. Okay? That's how she deals with like email over here, social media thing over here, Photoshop here. Or something like that. Like she's got a worse screen bug than I do. And granted, right now I'm sitting in front of about 7 screens for doing this, but that's for this, you know. So I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. So related to this, I did happen to see a TikTok today, and I think it was one of those kind of gamer setup things. It was like, guys, if you get a second monitor, don't go horizontally. Throw that thing vertically. And it talks about like your web browsers. You can throw YouTube video at this browser and this browser and stack them a little more efficiently if you're doing multiple things for like. It looked like it was aimed at being like a Twitch stream kind of situation. He's not wrong, and I think my next one's going to be vertical, so I can just stack some stuff up. And how many screens can that Mac Mini M1 take again? Do we know? It was something crazy, wasn't it? It was like 4 4Ks or something, right? So I mean, I know the big one does like 5 or 6 8Ks or something like that, right? So we're just, I'm just looking for regular monitor resolution. I'm not looking for high res anything like that. So yeah, the Apple display is also the highest resolution thing I probably have too. So yeah. Boy. Well, that was fun. Well, that's damn it. I got something else on the wish list now. Thanks for that. Anyways, Chilla, thank you so much for joining us and
costing you money
and upping my production budget. Like, especially considering what I just bought. It's for business, but it's something, and it's for business is something we're going to use in like 2 weeks. So, but I definitely just bought something. That's a lot. I don't know if you saw my Twitter today. We're stacking equipment here. We got drones over here. We got new iRigs. We got new streaming technology. You're going to be getting these touch screens sooner or later here. That'll be very helpful.
Is your drone VR headset?
No. This is the same old. Actually, this is the replacement because I broke the initial and I cashed in my replacement plan with Best Buy, which is basically just by buying a second one when you pay for it kind of thing. Which I'm like, wait, what did we just do here? And then I bought the plan again. And I was like, oh well, whatever. Now I'm afraid to fly it that I'll break it again in general. So, but anyways, yeah, it's still kind of a trainer's drone. It's that one that like it uses the iPhone to control it and the videos on there, but like it's over Wi-Fi, so it's not going to go very far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the kind of thing that I can, chase the dog through the studio probably. Like I think, and now
you could fly it up. You could fly it up over the roof or something like that.
I'm afraid to. Listen, if there's any wind, this thing is going. Like it's got no resistance at all. Like I want to do that like fly over the studio kind of thing. But yeah, so I'm like I think this is an inside drone to be honest. So, but it was like $100 drone. It's fine. It's a Tello. It's a Tello. It's got Intel inside. It says Field of Fun and it has Scratch so you can program things for the kids programming tools. Kind of thing. It's a Tello powered by DJI. I mean, it's I'm at that point where I need to not get new skills, and I need to hire somebody with these skills if anybody needs a drone. And I actually know I have a drone guy. I haven't used a drone guy, but I have a guy that has a drone. So if it ever comes up,
I have a drone guy.
I have a drone guy.
Everyone needs a drone guy.
Did they talk about when there was a drone guy in Arizona for Baja, and they sent me this amazing. You get a chance, look at the Baja SAE Arizona highlight reel from last year, and there's these amazing flyovers he got me of the race. The endurance event. I'm not allowed to call it a race. But very, very cool. And this guy I'm sitting there out on the track, and all of a sudden I hear this zoom, like whizzing by us, not far over my head kind of situation. I was like, okay. And this guy, I guess he's like, he does all the races out there and everything like that. I'm just like, I'm waiting for this thing to hit one of the poles. So it would take a lot for me to get that good at something, and that's obviously somebody that does that every weekend, and they're very, very good at it. And it's a whole other skill that I probably don't possess. So because I don't want to crash $1,000 things. And also I have a big respect was the jet powered RC plane that I witnessed a couple weeks ago out in California. So it was my second or third time seeing this thing, and I'm just like, how do you do that, and not just go, and create a crater at that point, so, but anyways. Hey, Judge Chilla, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
We'll see you again next week, talking tech and such. And Dave Podnar of the iPhoneography podcast. Anything new going on over there?
Well, we are expanding the Facebook group and basically taking over the old iPhone Tiny Shutter Facebook group. We just renamed it, so that's becoming a lot more active.
Fantastic.
Instead of building something from scratch, since we're kind of the spiritual successor to the Tiny Shutter podcast. So expanding out there and just becoming a lot more active with different types of shots and doing deep dives.
There you go. Get out there and expand your photography with the iPhone.
Yep.
Yes. Do you help the Android people, the poor Android people as well?
Well, a lot of our tips, admittedly, some things are iPhone specific or apps that are iPhone specific, but a lot of our tips can be used no matter what device you're using.
Excellent.
A lot of it's basic photography tips because even old, I mean, we've talked about this before, even, if you have a 3-4 year old phone or even like a lower end phone, you're not willing to spend $1,000 on a phone, which nothing wrong,
That's right.
Understand. Yeah, exactly.
The things are
perfectly
adequate. I think I just shared in the group, by the way, because I'm still using, as we talked about, the old iPhone 8s and 10s for production around here, and I was missing my adapter to put it on a tripod. So I tell you what, if you have an old iPhone you're not terribly worried about, and you really want that thing to work, I'm telling you, gaff tape will do you wonders. If you say yes, that is the gaff tape is over the top of the screen, because we're using an NDI app to bring the video in, and that is of the Wrestlers D&D Dungeons and Dragons session that we did on Thursday night. So it's just a shot of the game board for the positioning for the fights and everything. So I'm like, well, this thing needs to go on here, and I need to order a new one of these things. And it looks like I lost it already. There should be one over here. It's over there. That's why. It's over on the other table. Okay. That's why. It's over in the D&D space still. So I could have used it Thursday. So either way. Well, thank you. Do check that out. And, of course, follow at Sorgatron on the Twitters. Apparently a lot of people are these days. Hello out there. Follow my Twitter. We'll also have a mundane thought like, I want more pro wrestling in dead malls, and get something like 1,000 likes on it. Apparently that's the world I live in right now. So there's that. Also, I just came back. You can check out a lot of the stuff from what we worked on with Warrior Wrestling. I'm going to say it. One of the premier professional wrestling groups in the freaking country. The stuff that we're pulling off out there, it's incredible. An incredible experience working with Steve and the crew out there, and Rich Bikini helping a lot with the guiding the production at least, and Brian out of Gnarly Pop is doing some fantastic graphics work that we're applying in this thing. So go check that out. And this weekend, I'm going to Seattle for the first time, guys. And this will be fun. I'm bringing almost zero equipment. They have everything in-house, and they just need somebody to kind of pull it all together, I guess. And I'm one of those people pulling things together. And we're going to be, this is a weird sentence, we're going to be streaming live on Pluto TV. So you can watch whatever the heck we do, I guess, for free. So because Pluto TV is like free as hell. So that's Defy Wrestling out in Seattle. It's going to be a pretty big show. That card is just bonkers looking at that, and looking to head out there and make some new friends and experience Seattle for the first time. So follow my tweets because I'm sure I'll have a lot to share from that trip out there. Also, Alaska Airlines for the first time. So I don't know what that's going to mean. So there you go. Is it Polar Bear flying the plane? I don't know. We'll find out. So thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.